All right, Flock Wall Street, great to see the Baltimore Ravens execute down the stretch and pull one out at home, of all places, right? But man, very excited to see the defense step up and be the linchpin of something when the offense didn't have his best game through the air. My man Lamar was definitely off in this particular game, but he still made a ton of great plays. But I wanted to start right here with this particular play because I can see the makings of something great. Now, everybody's always talking about the receiver this, receiver that, and I was always saying, what about Dev Duve? What about the guys already on the team? As we can see right here, they catch Cincinnati in a cover 4. So you catch someone in a cover 4 and you have some of these reduced splits and running these vertical routes, you can tend to get on a safety. As we see right here, Dev Duve getting vert up the field. You got Von Bell here standing flat-footed. A guy like Von Bell's not going to be able to run with Dev Duve first and foremost, but then you know he's probably going to make a mistake with the ball in the air, which he does here. What I like about Action Jackson here is he's holding the safeties. Even though there's no post safety or somebody like that who can get involved, and these guys are going to still have to run with their keys anyway, he's still making it to where Von Bell could be laxed in his coverage here. What he doesn't do is execute, right? Scheme. I mean, he did everything right. I don't understand this probability 25% thing. I'd have to know, but even look at his manipulation of the pocket here. You can see the breach coming off the right side of the defensive formation, so Ronnie Stanley's side here. It bows out. He can feel that innately, and look at him start to drift there to give himself even more time, and look at Von Bell. Right now, he's running. He's actually in very good position, but he wants to be peering back at the quarterback instead of running with his particular assignment here. So in cover 4, obviously, the guys on the outside are going to get depth, right? They get a quarter of the field, and so do the safeties here. So safety running there, he's going to occupy both the corner and the safety on this one right here. But Von Bell running and looking back because he's scared to death, scared to look. And by the time he launches this, Dev Duve already got a step on him. So he had to trust Dev Duve here, but man, he puts too much on it. For a guy with a weenie arm, as all these clowns always say, all these insurrectionists, he sure can put the ball downfield because he overthrew Dev Duvernay, who can absolutely fly with track speed. Imagine that. To me, it's one thing to throw it to Rashad Bateman and to have that be the guy that you're going to vert. When you keep switching it up to different people, I think the rhythm and the timing of it gets thrown off, and it's harder to throw to multiple people down the field because everybody's going to have a different way of running down the field.
What more can I say?
Top Billin. It's Tylan Wallace one I saw right away. The reason why the timing was thrown off with this one is by the time they work with the scramble drills, and Tylan did a good job of getting upfield and locating the void here, which is a perfect play, he also put his hands up. And when you put your hands up, man, you ain't Randy Moss. Randy Moss the only cat who can run with no arms and still run fast. You got to be pumping your arms. So he's expecting him to run like Tylan Wallace where he's got his hands up. I want you to look when he comes out of this right here. His hands is up. Now he has to try to accelerate. Nope. Just that little thing right there will throw off the timing of a vertical pass. It is, especially when you're trying to put it in the air, right? If you're trying to just put it right on him, which I think Lamar should probably do a little bit more. Instead of just trying to lead these guys downfield, just put it on him and make sure you complete the pass on something like this. You put it on him right here, that man is running to the end zone still. At the very least, you get an explosive gainer. But you can see right here, he still had his hands up, or his hand up. And that threw it off right there. But still, man, Tylan Wallace's ability to think and then Lamar's ability to see that can only bode well for the future. Some of these read plays that my man Greg Roman draws up are just incredible. You talk about putting defenders in conflict of deployment. Look at Sam Hubbard right here. He's screwed straight up no matter what he does right here. So you'll have King and Drake here as the potential guy to sweep outside. They're optioning off of Hubbard here. But then they also pull Ben Powers here. So he'll be leading up through. So normally you would think Ben Powers would get the end man on the line of scrimmage here. So Hubbard has to think about that. And then he has to think about both Drake and Lamar with the action in his face, right? Pause. And then you got Powers here getting up to the second level. This shit is cold. Check this out. Option off. Where does he go? He went 3 different ways. My man went 3 different ways. Come on, you can't do that all at the same time. Look at this right here. Has to worry about Drake getting out the back door here. Has to worry about Lamar potentially leading up through the C gap. But you can't defend both at the same time, but he tries. Look at him. They exotic danced this man. They made him damn near do a split trying to get two people at once. That's crazy. Look at this. I got him, coach, and I got him too. You have neither. Come on, and look at Lamar off the inside hip of Ben Powers right here. Look at him navigate all of this. Morgan Moses block way up there. Ooh, look at that. What just happened? Down goes Frazier. Ben Powers on that block right there. Boom, that's that prison loving right there. You know what's about to happen next when you see that in prison. I don't even got to tell you. We ain't got to go into graphic detail right there. But look, my man navigating this absolutely perfectly. I think he ends up tripping on Dev Duve. Isaiah Likely out there doing this thing, man. Everybody contributing. Dev Duve. But yeah, this is what happens right here. I think he clips on Dev Duve right here with this right foot right there. That he might have actually scored. Went down like a $2 hooker, though. Damn, what a play. Marcus Peters came to play. That boy was fired up. And you have to remember, he was injured in the preseason, so he never got a chance to face the Bengals. And he was hearing everybody cry, talking about the Ravens will never beat the Bengals again. And all this cornball crazy shit that a lot of the freaking Ravens fans were saying. Ain't happening that way, baby. This is his type of game right here. Where he can see everything in front of him. Look at him break down, right? This is one of the toughest tasks there is, period, in football. To get this guy on the ground with a 50-50 situation here, a even exchange situation where he has a two-way go, you're able to break down in space and tackle this cat? Right? This dude, I said it ever since I was covering him at LSU. The guy is a running back that they made into a wide receiver. Look at his calf muscles and shit like that. This dude is a big dude. And Marcus Peters is able to compete with that. That's some really good shit, baby, to break down in space like that, man. When you have those type of guys like Chase or a Dev Duve, these guys who are like running back types, you get them a hitch, they'll take a mile. Y'all remember when I made the Dev Duve make it from scratch video, just talking about just different ways they can get the ball in this guy's hand? This right here is hard. Look at that complete mishap right here. But look at him not only make it from scratch, but make chicken salad out of chicken shit right here. Look at Davis Gaither. Oh, muscle relaxed him. Well, we got to go back to that. You know we like a good muscle relaxer right here. Dead to rights, right? Just picked up the ball, not knowing he's going to have to do anything like this. You see him stick that foot in the ground right there. Davis Gaither bites like, you know what, has the reach. If you reach, I'll teach you. It's like back in the day with ball. If you reach, I'll teach you. Basketball style right here. He couldn't even get a hand on him. And I like this block coming up here by Isaiah Likely, right? Just a get in the way block, right? You don't have to always try to knock somebody out or anything like that. You can just get in the way, baby. And you got Pratt Street right here. Right, Pratt Street on the back street right here. He ain't catching up to nothing. That's a hell of a play by Dev Duve, man. Heads up. I think he showed out last night and made people realize what we've been talking about, or definitely what I've been talking about here on the channel for the past year and a half. Now you got Dev Duve at running back. Think about that. And you got this pin and pull tosser here. You got Andrews here blocking on the end man on the line of scrimmage with Pat Ricard and Oliver leading out here, and watch him do a good job of navigating this. It looks like he originally kind of wants to bang this off an inside hip, but he decides to continue it outside on his trek and does a good job of getting skinny at the moment of truth. That tosser right there, great job of blocking. You get Oliver, he blocks down too on the strong side linebacker, so that leaves Ricard one-on-one here with somebody coming from the third level, and yeah. Come on, straight club bouncing. Get up out of the club, son. Look at that, man. Club bouncing. It's always the one dude who don't want to leave the club when it's time for you to go, baby. You got to get your ass up out this club right now. And look at dude get skinny at the moment of truth right here. And my man could only try to two-hand touch him. Damn, he missed him. Absolutely missed him. Dev Duve just has those running back skills. I think Dev Duve could be a Pro Bowler at running back. He's that type of good with the ball in his hands. So you can tell that in his kick returns. Now, Dafe Odom fertilized himself. That's crazy. You trying to get a wide receiver like Stanley Morgan to keep Odafe away from setting the edge? It should never happen right there. So you see right there, mouse in the house. You call that out right there. You completely get him up out of there, right? Fertilize him. Make the run, cut back inside. Dafe Owe, definitely good for that. And look who else is there. Jason Pierre-Paul. Speaking of Pierre-Paul, look at this man. Side approach right here. Gets La'el Collins right here to widen up. Just to use his momentum against him. Look at him. Use that right hand there to further push him outside so he can get to the fastest path to the quarterback, right? Straight line. Joe Burrow unable to do something like that. You got the guard here trying to help as well. Look at that hold. You got him right around the waist trying to hold him. You got La'el Collins in FEMA mode, right? Straight recovery mode. He in FEMA mode. Everybody's abandoning technique. You get like a 3-4 car pileup because Jason Pierre-Paul is that guy. Still, look at that. Even old man Calais Campbell in there. Your granddaddy. You know, all granddaddy team right there. Calais Campbell be moving stiff as hell sometimes, man. But great play by Jason Pierre-Paul there. Love seeing the layers in these blocking schemes and how it forms there. You got Zeitler pulling as well as Moses here. They're both coming around there. You get a down block by Makari. You'll see the end man on the line of scrimmage. He's influenced to get upfield so he can get blocked here by Zeitler. And then you get Project Pat working to the strong side linebacker here, or the guy who's approaching as a strong side linebacker here. You got Andrews coming out here and DeMarcus Robinson as well. Just finally executed and layered. Then you got that monster J.K. Dobbins navigating it all right there. Look at that. You actually get Andrews working to the third level. The strong side defender approaches there. Makari gets him out, and you can just see it layer off right there. That organic crease. This man gets ran out the play here, and Dobbins navigating that bad boy, trying to see. You can see him right there in that conundrum. It's like, should I work off the inside or outside hip? Inside or outside hip? He decides to take it outside here. Man, so excited to see Ronnie Stanley back. When you see him, you know it's big business, man. The dude is on the all tango team. Look at this shit. Look at the feet firing. Look at the foot energy, man. Continuing to work right there. Just him coming back, man. Think about this. Cincinnati Bengals have one of the best defensive lines in football, period. Especially if we're talking about edge players between Hendrickson and Hubbard. And then some of the guys that they have come in, like Osai and everybody, these guys are loaded with that, man. And it didn't look that bad last night at all. I think Lamar was sacked probably once, maybe twice or something like that. Not like it was in the first few games. And this was probably the best defensive line that they've seen. Especially if you factor in Buffalo's right up there as well, Miami's. But, man, Cincinnati right there. But I want you to look at the foot energy and look at the width, base width, and everything. Ronnie Stanley is a man's man and is a pro's pro. Look at that. Oh, look at that. That's that lateral movement. Run him down the guitar string. Just run his face all into the – run his face all through the fan right there. Right? Don't stick your face in the fan with Ronnie Stanley there. Then you try to reverse course, he's coming with you. When I move, you move. Just like that? Come on now. Let me get a little sticky at the end, though. Great play design here. You'll have Isaiah Likely on a stick nod. You got mesh concepts coming from Dev Duve and James Prochet, who I forgot was on the team. I hope he's been injured or something. Prochet got to step up, man. I definitely thought a lot more of him and wanted to see him as more of a frontline player there. But then you'll have also Mark Andrews here on a crosser. This is a conflict of deployment, especially if you got a guy like this particular corner here who may or may not have gotten the memo that they were in zone. Check this out. He follows way too far inside. He actually follows and continues to follow all the way. So if you're this linebacker right here, you would think you would be passing something off to your zone corner, especially when you know something's coming right behind him, which is Dev Duve, and you have to guard that too because you couldn't leave and vacate right there and leave Dev Duve open. He could slip it to Dev Duve, and he's 88 out the gate there. But him having to follow Mark Andrews and passing him off, nobody there to pass him off to. Complete blown coverage there, and there was a lot of conflict of deployment because of how that particular play was schemed up. Love some of these fabricated pressure schemes. This is of the fire zone variety. I love the use of personnel too. You have Malik Harrison here, who could definitely be a line of scrimmage player in a pinch. You have him backing out into hook, curl. Same deal right here with Pierre Paul. So you're still essentially just sending 4 players. Chuck Clark's not going to be involved in this. You're going to have Bonds hitting the A-gap, and this is just poor offensive line play by the Cincinnati Bengals. Hopefully they continue to keep that up, having these poor offensive lines. But this is just too easy. Look at that. That's a straight path to Burrow right there. Way too easy there. Got Urban and those guys tying up blockers, a couple of blockers over there. And Justin Matabike tying up a couple of blockers. So it's just 1 on none with the great one. Josh Bonds there for a sack. Fab pressure. Look at this double play action. Got orbit motion going on here by, I believe, Dev Duve. He's going fake that, which leads him to pretty much a regular play action, which goes then to Dobbins. You got Project Pat right here on the end man, the line of scrimmage, but he navigates this, is able to look downfield. These type of mistakes I don't really read too much into. See it right here. Look at that play action right there. And then another one to J.K. Dobbins. Project Pat does a good job of getting that here, but you can see him with his eyes downfield and navigates the pocket perfectly, and he sees it right here on a corner route, I believe. Yep, on a corner route to Demarcus Robinson. So he's going to be getting out here, and he just airmails it. He made the correct decision. It just was a poor throw. Sure, if he got amped up or something like that, probably the mechanics of it, I would have to imagine, of not setting your feet, because he comes around off of this navigation here and then immediately goes into throwing. Maybe if he could have just kind of set his feet a little bit, took a breath, and then just put it right on him, he would have been fine. But he comes out of that feeling good with all that play action fake, throws it right to Von Bell. Come on, Lyle Collins having a bad day with Pierre Paul right here. Pierre Paul gets to the strength here, sticks that foot to the ground to get him to widen up, and then binks him on the back like he's burping a baby. He just burped the baby, got Lyle Collins all out of sorts right there, right? You get binked on the back like that when you ain't having a good game. That's at least, I had to say, a 13% concussion or something like that. Then he gets that paw up there to block the shot. He was a nuisance, man. He's been a nuisance in 2 games. Come on, man. That wasn't a good EDC finding off the streets right there. The much maligned Patrick Queen getting involved in turnover time right here. You get zone drops by the second level players, including Bynes and Brandon Stevens here. Everybody's coming upfield there. He does a great job of really getting depth and getting his head around. It looks like Joe Burrow determined where he was going to go with this, especially with a back to the basket play action fake. Then you have to readjust your eyesight. And you got Patrick Queen gets his head around just in time right there to rob the second player coming on an in-breaking route right there. Yeah, Burrow definitely just had that predetermined to go to Jamar Chase there. Determined that. Queen read that, dropped right underneath there, threw it right to him. That's where Queen should excel at with his type of athleticism. This is where I'm not as big a Marcus Peters fan. I don't really like him in close quarters coverage. Should be press coverage. If that close, you got to get hands on man to at least get yourself into proper position or in the proper range. But look, he falls off the cliff right here, allowing Chase to get by him. And now look at him. And this dude is wondering why he got a flag. Let's see how long he's holding this man's pockets, right? Just like in prison, holding another man's pockets on the yard. How in the hell is that not pass interference? And why would he think it's not pass interference? He was worrying about the clicking of the feet, which was incidental, but it doesn't matter if you're holding a man's jersey the entire time. So you get clicked, then get fertilized. That's the football guys frowning upon that right there. Made that man fertilize himself. Chase never even went down. Come on, man. Lesson learned, because then he How you bink that man like that? His head way back there. His head turning like poltergeist. Come on, man. What are we doing? Bink that man into at least a 30% concussion right there. Chase having to run with a little bit of a concussion there. He lucky the ball wasn't thrown to Chase, though. He would have been beat again trying to be cute. Come on, Marcus Peters. But that was hard, though. Bink that man shit. Definitely illegal hands to the face, though. Real men watch to the end and then comment. I saved this one for last because it's right in line with my last content item that I did on the Ravens about the misuse of Kyle Hamilton and is he being miscast, which led to the worst comment section I think I've had, period, with Baltimore Ravens. I had to block several people. You can't do shit with a bad fan base if it has to do with like something that somebody may perceive as negative. Even if it's not negative, it's just critique, or even in that case, just seeing where it could go in the future. Now, I was saying, should he play Chuck Clark's spot? Should it just go ahead and move on past Chuck Clark and play this guy in his spot? Because I don't think he's doing good as the third safety in a set. They don't think he's doing good as a third safety in a set. He's barely playing. He barely played in this game again, and when he did get out there, he got this penalty here. So I was wondering. I said that I think post safety is his best spot coming in for Marcus Williams. Well, Marcus Williams gets injured and Geno Stone comes in. But check this out right here. Everybody was saying that he's the guy that guards the tight ends and stuff, and I'm like, that's not really his game, though. Right? You're making this guy be something that he's really not. You can see right here, this is poor technique. Why not immediately, right? You're right in front of this dude. Why not stick that left hand to that right shoulder pad, get yourself in position, and ride his hip pockets with close quarters coverage? You're trying to play a fade pattern, front side. He's looking, you're not looking. Now you start to panic, and then you just push. Right? Now, keep in mind, just his first handful of games, he's a rookie. You expect him to get better with experience, but even he knew right away. You could tell him look up like a bad little kid. Imagine if he had already decreased the space right here and was running in the hip pocket. He breaks this pass up rather easily because the pass is kind of thrown inside a little bit if you see where it was going to go, but he just ends up just pushing him. Like, what is that going to do? Why would you can't do that. You can't do that. You ain't going to be able to just push somebody. You need to play the ball there. But he plays the man when it happens to be my man Hayden Hurst, who I wish was still a Baltimore Raven, but it is what it is on that front there. So I'm not sure. So we'll see. I'll have to see his snaps on this one. This may have been his worst one yet. His snaps decreased 50% the last two games. It may have decreased even more this last game right here. And I'm not sure if they saw him again after this penalty either. So Geno Stone came in at the free safety spot. Chuck Clark's playing a strong safety spot. I guess he'll continue to play the third safety there. I actually would rather Brandon Stevens be the third safety in the game. To be honest with you, I would rather see Hamilton play Chuck Clark's spot or fill in for Marcus Williams as for the time being. But it should be Chuck Clark's spot because Marcus Williams is going to be there for a long time. Chuck Clark's probably not in Baltimore after this year, I'd imagine. It just depends on how it's going. You drafted this guy that high, you got to play him, man. I don't know. But all you people with your little too tight-ass thongs, buy a bigger thong and turn that bitch the correct way, man. Tired of people coming in here getting mad when I'm trying to cover football. I'm not a fanboy. You're a fan. I'm trying to run a business here. So not everything's going to be peaches and cream. So if I'm trying to work and show you what this guy's not doing good at or how he could be better, it's all in the fairness of analysis. All right? Great win by the Ravens, though. With that being said, strike the band.
What more can I say?
Top Billin.